rise and shine, and I see now that this is not my room, but a jail cell. Well, I wish I could say this is the first time this has happened. Hello, everyone, and welcome back, once again, to Gary's Mod. And I have no idea what I'm doing here, but all I know is that the map we're going to be exploring today is GM Stormwalled. Do I have any cellmates? No, I don't see any, but it's really creeping me out to look through from here. I don't know what it is about, like, the primal fear of looking through another room through a hole that's, like, smaller than normal. Like, a wide open door? Yeah, sure, that's creepy. But put it through a tiny slat that nothing could possibly get you through? Somehow, that's just way more anxiety-inducing. Honestly, though, I don't think my incarceration and subsequent amnesia are the result of a crazy night out. I think it's by design. See, the workshop page says we woke up in this bunker having no idea how we got here. So it's going to be up to us to explore around and figure out what the nature of this place actually is. Only thing we can do is try the door. Huh. Well, if it's not locked, maybe it's not a prison. Maybe it's just a really crappy hotel. Although not the crappiest. I've stayed at worse. Are all of these going to be... Oh, they are just all openable. But, and I hate doing this. It doesn't look like I have any blockmates. So where is everyone? You know, I've only just realized there's no ambient sounds at all. No electrical hum, no wind whistling through the corridors or metal clanking. No sounds moving through the pipes, nothing. This almost feels like some kind of apocalyptic event has not only removed everyone, but left the facility itself floating in an endless void. If only we could see beyond the walls. Then again, the place itself is quite spooky. Well, this whole predicament being the bad news, I do at least have some good news to report. Whoever brought me here did not adequately search me. Oh, no. Even the building is trying to go, no, stop, don't do it. Oh, yeah, you didn't expect this, did you? Now, where actually are we? That looks like outdoors already. No. No. It's just a false outdoors. Put a fake night sky that's really a cave ceiling above us. So whatever this place is... Well, first of all, they're doing some gardening, and also... It must be built into like a mountain or something. Hang on, let's keep moving. Maybe these back corridors will actually loop back around. Then again, these long hallways of pipes make it seem like somewhere we might see in a nightmare. That's the thing. I think when there's no ambient sounds whatsoever, it puts me so on edge. It's sort of like replicating that feeling when you're in the woods and you notice that you can't hear any birds or crickets or anything chirping. Oh, but there's an actual night sky. So we're not far from the surface. In fact, this looks like sand, so maybe we're near a coast? Huh, actually, with the way all this moss and leaves grow down, the utter silence and emptiness of the base, it almost makes it seem like I fell asleep and then was left behind just as a part of this place, the only living thing here, while it sat still for who knows how long. Do you ever get that feeling when you take like a really satisfying nap And then when you wake up, it feels like decades have passed. Bonus points if you wake up from one of those and find the house completely empty and all the lights off. Especially if you were having like some kind of crazy dream. When you wake up from a dream and find no one home, it only serves to further make you question your whole reality. Now, what are these things that are all over the place? They look like shell casings for like gigantic rounds. All these tables tossed all over the place, another pile right here. I don't see any bullet holes though, but these look like some very large caliber rounds. What happened here? I mean, I started to think that maybe it would just be some kind of like eye candy map, but yeah, that's blood. Blood and more shell casings. There was definitely a fight here. And yet, not a body in sight. That looks like it may be like a map of the facility. But then again, the whole thing, especially with what looks like doors and windows on the top, actually sort of resembles a face, doesn't it? Or like a country ball or something, I don't know. Let's have a look around if I can push my way through all this stuff. Oh, good, the drink machine is still working. That's all I really cared about. No, seriously, what is this? What invisible prop can I not see here? Oh man, maybe this place was infested with invisible mice. I would vacate the premises and give up the fight as well if that were the case. Oh, imagine you're just trying to eat and you constantly feel them running over your feet like some kind of 4D movie. And it's just as well, because it seems like I can't get anything from the vending machine anyway. Yeah, I'm just tripping over these invisible mice all over the place. No wonder they brought in such huge caliber rounds. They wanted to make sure that these things died and stayed dead. But in the end, it seems like they lost the battle. Tried to hold out here, but don't you know the kitchen's the worst place? That's the first place invisible mice look. And also regular mice. Did they maybe come up through the floor here? Oh, and can we actually use this valve? No, it doesn't seem like it can. In all seriousness, though, I think these details are above and beyond. This is clearly meant to be telling us that something happened here, and in fact, something may still be happening here. Actually, I'm starting to feel almost the way I did on GM Road to Nowhere. That feeling that everyone's evacuated and you're just the only one who didn't get the memo, obliviously strolling through some immense danger. Can we use this to sort of figure out where we are? I mean, basically we would be looking for like a loop, right? But I just can't make heads or tails of this. I think the only way we can go now is through here or down that tunnel. And displacements scare me. Displacements scare me a lot. But then again, so do junctions with lots of doors. I don't think this corresponds to anything we're seeing down there, right? Alright, let's just take it one at a time. We gotta do this methodically. Oh no. Dark, dingy saw bathroom. Still kind of a toss-up between the worst prison I've ever seen or the worst hotel I've ever seen. I've always been creeped out by this shower model, especially when you come upon it in the dark. Its many tentacles casting all different shadows, and also the fact that the thing just looks like some kind of medieval torture device. Let's not spend too long in here, shall we? I thought that stain on the wall was like a shadow of a head of someone sitting in here. Alright, we'll leave doors open since they don't appear to close on their own. And instead of going randomly, let's sneak a peek. Sneaking a peek's something I now realize, again, I really don't like doing. No matter how sure I am that nothing's gonna happen. It's like inbuilt. I I think we may be missing some props. Well, it doesn't list any requirements, and it says that all custom content should be packed. So let's just walk up, get this thing right on out of here, and just trust in the invisible table. Thankfully, whoever brought me here was really complacent when it came to searching. Come on. Boop, boop. What is that there? Oh, it's a pipe. Okay, well, I think that's going to be our last stop because, normally this is all about either trying to descend deeper or rise up out of the depths of whatever facility we find ourselves in. In this case, we know from seeing the sky that we're pretty high up, but that goes downward, which means I'm going to have to save that for last, because who knows if we'll be able to get back up again. Hello? Oh, it's an armory, all kinds of ammo, and yet, no guns. Since I did find blood and shell casings, but no bodies or guns, I'm gonna assume that all that stuff now belongs to the Invisible Mouse King. Let's keep having a look. There's a couple of corridors I've yet to explore, and, well, the vent is kind of the last thing I want to do, since it's a potential point of no return. Speaking of points of no return, I definitely just felt something load. Ooh. This is actually the night sky, but only partially. There's a bridge of rock cast over us. But here, I can actually hear the crickets above. But no sounds of traffic, no aircraft in the sky. Just how remote is this place? Even the sound of sand under my feet was kind of startling at first. All these concrete structures just built into the rock. It's almost like I'm being pulled down that hallway. I look at it and it almost has that vertigo effect. Like I can see the door getting farther and farther away, the shadows and the lights between them stretching off. Oh, let's keep looking. There is plenty to keep looking at. Oh, thank you, invisible railing, for keeping me from going too far over the edge. All right, maybe that, you see that? Hang on, wait. Run. Oh, it's just the recycling bin. I swear, I mean, it's going to be like 2 pixels for you, but I really thought that I could see something really short and hunched over and dark, just leaning through the doorway. Oh, imagine something silent following you in the distance through a place like this. I look at it kind of differently now that I know we are actually close to the surface. And as I get deeper in, there's a rising rumble coming from within. And just like that, it's gone. It's like it was only in this area where the lights are the most dense. Like it's coming from just above. I actually almost would have felt a little better if it was continuing to get louder as I went, because that would at least mean that I'm heading towards something, some source of airflow. Oh my god, I'm really outside. In a big, expansive area. Actually, a place like this might actually be a good spot for the return of the amnesia lantern. Oh, never mind. I actually hate this a lot. These tall pieces of grass almost look like skeletal arms reaching out to me from the darkness. But yeah, look, this is really like a whole outdoor area. Oh, look at all these, like, glowing particles in the air. Are those maybe supposed to be, like, weird fireflies or something? Now, this is one of those moments where I think about what I must look like and I scare myself. This lone brick building in the middle of nowhere, porch light on over the door, and some figure who just crawled out of the mountain holding a lantern staring ominously. Let's just put that away and go introduce ourselves, shall we? First aid. This is like a medical building. Okay, so we haven't escaped. This is all still the same facility. But this place is about as lively as the prison. I wonder if that prison isn't maybe just like one part of a greater thing? Like, it's not all just a prison? What is this? Like a dentist or something? I don't even know what to make of this place. But what is this all for? So this must have been like the infirmary, observation for patients who are recovering. And what about over here? Just, I guess, like the desk to watch over this ward. Okay, let's try the double doors that were through here. Locked, and I've only just noticed. Very dark inside. My light's not even penetrating, and you know, sometimes there are those times where just in a split instant, your brain just throws up in front of your vision, jump scare alert, and that itself acts as a jump scare, to be honest. Alright, let's head back outside. I saw another light in the distance. But while these porch lights do act as beacons, the darkness between them feels like I'm in the territory of something else, like I'm going to be swallowed up, and an observer would see me leave these lights and never make it to the others. That sounds like metal fence. Yeah, I don't know why half the props are just like not drawing. I mean, I have like every game enabled. Oh, wait. There's actually more up there. Overlooking this whole field, this whole courtyard between the structures. Actually, I'm starting to realize now this whole thing is just a little dip in between all this raised mountain. But how do I get up there? I don't see anything, and I'm hitting more invisible fencing. Alright, let's just go through here and see what we can do. Oh, this place and its long, dark hallways, I hate it. I hate it so much. And I bet this is where we came in before, is it not? No. But it sure is part of it. Alright, continue searching. It's just a cage suspended over a cave system. Not just a cave system, it looks like this is what they were using as like a sewage outflow. Meaning the infrastructure for this place must be huge, meaning this whole facility must be so much bigger than I'm thinking. Oh, this is crazy. I opened that door and like my stomach dropped. It was like just a cage out over the void. And only when I shone my light over did I realize that this image isn't just terrifying, but actually kind of gorgeous. Have you ever been on a cave tour? They do something quite like this. A lot of the time they'll have these lights set up all over the place. And on some of them, they'll actually have you stand still and then just turn the lights off so that you can appreciate true darkness. I'm not hoping for them to do that now, though. Can we perhaps do some platforming? Because it almost looks like it's meant for platforming. It almost looks like every aspect of this room is daring me to platform. And I'm not one to back down from a dare, unless I think it might be hard or dangerous. Yep, this has got to be leading us somewhere, right? Hey, wow, this place is really unfriendly for maintenance. Or really friendly, depending on how you look at it. Through here. Oh, wow, I'm even able to do this whole thing standing up. That's a pleasant surprise. Another pleasant surprise is that since we discovered that stairwell, we've actually spent a lot more time moving up than down. Great, another vent. Well, we can handle that. Yep. Keep our head nice and low so as to avoid spoilers. That's actually something that, like, I'm surprised I haven't seen a game address yet. Like, even in parody. I mean, it's such a staple of games to have the player crawling through vents to get from one place to another. But A, no air vents are this big, and B, none of them are going to support your weight. Come on. Yeah. There we go. I just hiccuped for no reason. But where are we now? Seriously, where are we now? This can't connect to anything we saw in the prison because, I mean, we're so much higher than that. Just about anything will scare the absolute bejesus out of me if it's been long enough without a jump scare, especially since I'm not thinking of this as a horror map. Okay, maybe it's time for the safety Glock to make another appearance. There is that stairwell that I'm starting to believe probably connects everything. The central spinal column of this whole facility. It's another locker room. Does that mean that this is going to be... No. I was going to say, does that mean that this is going to be another level to the prison, one inaccessible from below, but if I had to take a guess, any guess, I would say that this would probably have been the way out, wouldn't it? So, did they maybe not just abandon this place to whatever happened here, but completely seal it off from the outside world, leaving me inside? Nope, it totally is another prison, though. And in the name of exploration, I do have to check all of these, even though, why would you leave these slats open if you're not going to pull the obvious jump scare at some point? Especially bad, now that I know this map is willing to pull such things. Just a quick glance. Just a quick bed check. Just making my rounds. Okay, nothing. Good. Hey, you even turned the lights on in that one shower, which honestly just makes me trust it even less. I could swear I just heard the sound of a distant door closing. You have no idea how unnerving that is, given that this map is now notorious in my mind for not really having, like, sound effects. Well, I know what I'm doing. Yep. Oh, I guess there's just a ton of invisible props up here. This place is not as railing unfriendly as I would have thought. Now, I believe, yeah, there was still more unexplored territory down here. Hello? Oh, what is this overlook? A train! So this place isn't totally sealed off. A train with its headlights on, meaning, I mean, it must have arrived recently, right? This must be like some kind of depot where all the ins and outs go through this base. I don't know what the name for this geological feature would be, where there's just these little, like, dips in the rock, hidden away by the terrain. But that's what this whole place is, just an interconnected series of these things, with base running through the rock. Oh, they were dwarf fortressing it up in here. Unfortunately, the impenetrable wall of blackness prevents us from leaving. You know what? New fear unlocked, actually. I mean, abandoned cars are one thing, but an entire abandoned train just sitting with its lights on, totally empty on the tracks in the middle of a dark tunnel? It's almost like they came out here not knowing what was going on. And if we go with the idea that, whatever happened here happened a long time ago, imagine this thing just silently idling there for all this time. All right, how do we get across to whatever this is? I'm just assuming that there's not going to be anything to explore in the water down below. But we definitely want to get at those towers up there. I mean, from what we've seen, until we see otherwise, it is entirely possible that this is just some kind of maximum security prison meant to isolate people from the rest of the world, but I don't know. The scale of this facility and the secrecy of it sort of makes me think that there's some kind of, like, human experimentation angle. More prison. Let's check upstairs first. Oh, that red glow on top of the cliff is so eerie. It's like some kind of marker. What is it meant to represent? Is it some kind of, like, weird rail signal? There's nothing on top of the other tunnel. Now, I believe the workshop did say something about interactivity on this map. More ventilation. Ooh, and buttons. Okay, I pressed the spooky button. Good thing I found that for future reference, just so I know where it is. What about you? I have no idea what any of this is doing. There's just something about walking on this caged metal walkway, the metal clank under my feet, the water below in this brief outdoor bit. It's like I can feel the chill of the air, the loneliness and confusion of not knowing where I am or how I get out or if any of this is real. I think I've really taken to heart the whole idea of not knowing how I got here. I mean, it's one thing to be imprisoned here and wake up one morning to find everyone gone, but it's another thing entirely to wake up here with no context, having no idea what any of this is or what you did to deserve this fate. No, this was where I entered before. This one right here. Oh my god. Meaning this is a different staircase. Okay, we're putting together a map. That's the important thing. We're putting together a mental map of this place. That's all that matters. Well, that and keeping my heart beating at a reasonable pace. That's a steep staircase. That's a steep staircase where the more I look at it, the more I imagine some head peeking over the edge and then swiftly retracting. It's also the kind of image where the longer I stare at it, the more I feel something walking up behind me. If there had actually been something right there, I actually would have dropped dead of a heart attack right then and there. I need like some kind of Smokey the Bear type mascot that like talks about the virtues of clipping your stairs. I can hear electrical hazards around the corner. Okay, so let's see what tropes are in play right now. Dark abandoned prison? Yes. Long dark hallway? Yes. Ominous green glow at the end? Yep. Flickering light in the middle? Yep. Pipes. Oh, that's just the icing on top. Well, let's go. Let's have at it. Let us have at it. Ooh. Actually, no. Crowbar's not good enough. Safety Glock, you're up. Green, red. Does that mean that we have to repair you or something? Or are you just set dressing? And we come right back around to here. Wait, but that being the case, where does this staircase actually lead? I mean, it looks like it goes down quite far. Yes, very far indeed. I must have already opened this door. You know, from this angle, I've just realized this almost looks like some kind of blast door. Like something that's meant to come down to seal this staircase off. Meant to stop something from coming up out of the abyss, or meant to seal off whatever's down here from the outside world. To stop anything from getting in rather than out. Looking at it like this, it's a whole lot creepier than I was imagining. The only lights in here are the red glow from the emergency lights. Coming down here, I'm starting to miss that still night air. Which, oddly enough, I could smell, feel on my skin. It did feel like some kind of relief. And I'm seeing quite a big door down there. Well, whatever's down there, we're gonna let it out. We must be pretty far underground at this point. Yeah, these all look like offices. Offices, weirdly enough, in the same structure as the prison cells. There's a little bit of social commentary in there for you, but that's not what you come to me for. Okay, I can't imagine there's anything going to be too different in here. Yeah, this must be like where all the administrative work and monitoring gets done. But that's so weird. Like, why keep the prisoners near the top, closest to escape? Unless, like I was theorizing before, this place's main purpose isn't as a prison. You know, this place is really, really doing it with the creepy staircases. Each one designed by pro architects to make sure they're as foreboding as possible. Oh no. Was the crane operator playing Jenga with the shipping containers again? Oh, if I've told him once, I've told him 1,000 times. Then again, maybe he wasn't playing Jenga, maybe he was just making a really awesome paintball course. Because this place is a maze. Oh, why would you do this? Why would you leave it like this and leave so many blind corners in such an otherwise huge and wide open room? It's like you want me moving around with much trepidation, peeking out from behind the containers when I swear I heard something fall over in that direction, but nothing to be found when I finally take a look. And you know, for there to be shipping containers down here, there's got to be some way to get trucks or trains in as well, right? I mean, I did see those big hangar doors over that way. Could have sworn I saw a shadow just like walking parallel with me just now. I guess it was probably just that piece of whatever sticking out, but oh man, my heart stopped. But then again, all the heart stoppages, besides those lights breaking, have been on me so far. I don't know what it is about this place, but it's just making me feel extra on edge for some reason. I think the fact that I woke up in a prison cell makes this whole thing feel like some kind of punishment. Like I'm not supposed to understand. Like the confusion is part of what this is, and in some way deserved. Well, back in the vents again. Yep. I'm having flashbacks to Star Wars: A New Hope. That's a long way down. Never! I was just pushed forward from behind. What was that? It was like it just like snapped me onto the ladder or something and then threw me off. Okay, game. We'll be back up there to explore the rest later, I guess. I mean, there is a ladder, but who am I to question fate? When life pushes you in certain directions, you say, ooh, a piece of candy, and see what this is, see where this leads. Howdy. And as with most choices I make in life, I end up back in a cell, although I find it pretty funny that literally the only difference in furnishing between a prison cell here and an office is that there's a computer on one of the two desks. Ooh. There's actually a whole lounge out here. I mean, tell you what, I feel like, you know, assuming there weren't any egregious ethics violations taking place, which is a big if in a place like this, this might be the kind of job I actually enjoy. You know, as a kid, I actually used to really like the idea of boarding school. I mean, I'd hate it in practice, I'm sure, but just the idea of being done with your work and then having this, like, communal space where you just kind of chill with everybody, I don't know, that always felt, like, really especially cozy to me. Especially in simple settings like this. I'm talking about the simple setting of this room, of course. There's nothing simple about this whole facility. I see they saved all their nice flooring for down here. Although they still spared plenty of expenses when it came to the walls. What's back here? Bathroom, which for some reason also has the slat in the door. I wonder if that wasn't some kind of, like, punishment imposed after they caught Pete eating the last cheeseburger in the bathroom for the 50th time. But I suppose this brought us back to where we were going anyway. I know I'm breaking flow, but since I have the opportunity, I am going to come back up here and try to tie up any loose ends before unleashing whatever lies below. Oh, I guess the invisible mice are moving in their own cargo. Come on. Thank you. What is this? I mean, not that I would have any expertise in such things, but this almost looks like some kind of, like, coolant room for some kind of, like, series of nuclear reactors or something. Hang on, there's a control room right here. Raise or lower. Oh, coolant level, so I'm kind of right, I guess. And we can flood it. How high will it come, though? Right to there. But I imagine we probably can't access that door while it's like this. Imagine... See, when I see a huge room like this, so deep underground, I try to imagine, like, what it would take to excavate all this, what the construction process must have been like. And in this case, just taking in the fact that it's so unnatural to have such a cavernous space be so well lit. Alright, let's drop it back down. Drop that back down. And we'll have a look at that door. Huh. I'm like some kind of vertical Moses. Huh. I wonder what would happen if I were to try and raise the water level while this door was open. I mean, maybe it would just close automatically when the button was pressed. Ah yes, poolside shooting range. Huh, well, at least here we can see some bullet holes on, like, whatever happened up in the kitchen. Never mind, we found where they're keeping the guns. Okay, well, safety Glock, you wanna stretch your legs a little bit? Nice. Can we reset the targets at all? No? Huh. You know, it's actually kind of crazy these bullet holes are as small as they are, given the massive size of these shells. But we've got all the ammo we could need. We break this, and And we've certainly got all the guns we could use. What a gold mine. Now, I wonder where this door actually leads. Way to come full circle. You know, that's interesting. I was expecting this place to house some deep underground secret lab. And I suppose that's still kind of the case, but I really didn't expect there to be something as simple as an armory behind that door. Now, what is up there? I wasn't even aiming, so I'm actually kind of impressed with how well that turned out. Oh, okay, now you can't tell me that the reason this isn't boarded up isn't because they used impromptu, like, sledding contests. Man, it makes absolutely no sense for a ventilation duct to be shaped this way, to connect this way. Alright, I can't reload while I'm posed like this, so... Huh. Seems like somebody was messing with the levels here. Oh, this cell is like mine, but it's completely flooded. And there's flickering lights in the one across the way. Well, safety Glock. I always forget that grabbing opens nearby doors when I'm reloading you. But it apparently doesn't open nearby doors when I want to. Not only is it flooded, it's completely dark. And whatever this is, it must not share a connection to any other place. Because I haven't come onto it before. What am I doing? I know better than to come in here. What am I doing? What am I doing? What am I doing? The lights are completely out over here. Okay. I've been spooked a few times, but it seems we've finally gotten to the horror part of the map, and the reason why so many of you recommended this. Okay, I can see that that's a cave-in, but at first I thought it was ghostly white figures standing in the shadows. Thus making this place even more like a cave. Alright, we find out what's on top of this ladder, we find out roughly where we are. That's important before we progress deeper. Oh, that goes so high. Oh. Oh. I didn't even see that before. Well, let's immediately not take that advice and let curiosity get the better of us. It is my job, after all. So, whatever happened here, whatever eventually caused this entire place to be abandoned, it must have started in that sealed-off prison block. One which, keep in mind, is very far down from the place where we were being held, so what's the difference between me and those that were held down here? Now that's kind of an intimidating image. The flicker of the light from that side room. The lights reflecting in the water in the hallway, and I know those are barrels, but in the darkness like that, they almost look like some huge creature kneeling in the water. Ah! Okay, something actually is loose down here. And it's not invisible mice. Invisible mice don't sound like that. They sound like this. kind of like regular mice. Okay. Oh my god. This is copyright infringement. Out of everything that I was thinking, I had never even considered paranormal. But here we are. And the worst part is, what we've seen here, what we just went through, it sort of paints a picture you can make inferences from, and yet none of it has any ties to the state this whole place finds itself in. Oh, great. So we're really gonna follow the ghost into the vents, huh? That's actually just like what we're doing today? Alright. Alright, I mean, it's just a Sunday night. I had nothing better to do. This is what I always do when I've got nothing else to do. Just chase ghosts into vents. Holding my safety lock out for no reason. I know it's not actually going to do anything to extra carbon beings. It's just my little safety blanket. And it escaped into the facility. Were those the groans of the condemned, or were they the groans of the building about to collapse on me? I'm fine with either one. Just actually, never mind. I'd actually prefer the latter to the former. Now I really don't want to be out here alone. If I thought I saw a shadow before, imagine what's going to be going through my mind now. Alright, let's get up here. Actually, that pattern on the wall, I kind of see like a smiling, grinning face in it. For a second, it sort of reminded me of Whiteface from I'm Scared. Can't interact with these. And if they did anything, they would probably be closing that shutter and sealing me in, so I don't know why I'm even trying. But there's water below this grate. Why? There's no pipes or anything down there that should be leaking. And another dark hallway for us to go down, and even more of these doors. It's like this whole hallway was meant to be sealed off in layers. What is this? Some kind of generator or lab? I'll tell you one thing, this is a pretty interesting set of color choices, though. The reflections on the water calmly moving underneath the grate, the calming blue color of the room. I always like construction in engineering that like sort of evokes like a fantasy image in something that's purely scientific. Oh, good. A staircase. This must be that other one. This must be that other one that led straight up to the prison block that I came from. Then again, if I let that thing out, then just because I've been somewhere before does not mean that it's safe. Something was contained down there, and that something is contained no more. Oh, that is so creepy. The idea that some incident originating in that cell block involving one of the prisoners somehow ended up with making the decision to abandon the entire facility, to just leave it sealed away in a flooded hall underneath a mountain in the middle of nowhere. I've just realized that this catwalk actually wraps all the way around. I hadn't noticed before that it ran along this wall, but we can probably see what's in that room over there now. Huh. Well, I suppose the coolant's doing its job. And also providing an opportunity for a community snowball fight. Can we open this? No, it doesn't. Ooh, we can. Are those little spots meant to be snowy footprints crawling inside the vent? Because I don't dig that. I don't dig that one bit. It's this constant contrast between, like, the highly advanced and scientific and the decrepit and concrete and crumbling. I don't know, it's just such a weird mix in this facility. And even despite all of this, I still haven't figured out what this place is about. I was theorizing that maybe there's a human experimentation angle, and that could still be true. But for the most part, it does seem to just be a straight-up prison with way over-the-top infrastructure. All right, let's have a crouch. Come on. Yeah. There we go. Also, I noticed another vent cover like this on the wall of the main room out there. Oh, this just leads us straight onto the stairwell. So I guess then, in order to get at that, we would probably have to raise the water level, right? So we'll wait for that to happen and then just have a little swim over there. There we go, and perfect. What is this? It looks like behind that door is all caved in. Yep, we're not getting through. Hidden button? Hidden button! So that's now on. Wait, we gotta go back to that other hallway where that green light was red. I mean, that's kind of a dumb statement, but you know what I mean. Oh no, it still isn't right. Maybe there are more buttons around? I should start trying like a lot of things that didn't work before. Things that were interactive but didn't do what I expected them to. I also wonder if there isn't a way to get in here. Oh, this does actually open. Find generators. And it's green now. Oh, that's what this is. And am I letting out something horrible? Answer, from the look of that cave-in, not really. There's a door on our right, but they completely sealed this place off. Presumably the train tunnels are also sealed off somewhere down the line. We just can't get to them. What a thing to sleep through, huh? No, seriously, like, this is some real Al Capone's vault stuff right here. What is this? Alright, I think I've seen just about everything on the map at this point, so maybe it's time for a no-clip run? You know what, before I do that, though, I never did actually check to see where this leads. Yep. And oh, no. Okay, this is unexpected. It leads to, like, this whole flooded, like, system. But for what? I mean, actually, it looks like there might be some other entrance to this that I haven't even seen yet. Well, back under, let's hold our nose. This is under the rail bridge, isn't it? Oh, I didn't think I was actually supposed to come down here. Oh, well, that means that I'm going to have to go bobbing for Easter eggs. Okay, it doesn't seem like there's really much down there. But what is with that other vent cover? Ah, I bet this is it right here. I had noticed it, but I had forgotten about it. So what does this actually do? Able to see the headlights illuminating the fog and dust in front of it. Yet the train itself totally darkened, making you wonder what ghostly passengers are staring out those windows at you and wondering if you'll soon be joining them. I mean, imagine seeing this just pulled up in front of your house like the Polar Express. But with all that said and done, and unable to figure out what the controls up here do, I guess now it's time for the no-clip run. Whoop. We've kind of thrown a wrench in everything that was sacrificed in order to keep this place sealed off. But I still don't get what this room is about. I mean, for all the work you have to do, for all the secrets you have to find to open it up, I mean, just what is the point of this? I mean, can we no-clip through this door and see anything? No. Now, what's kind of cool about this map is that it has a lot of, like, weird connectivity going on. You don't see it at the time, but when you look at these rooms in no-clip, you can see all these different vents and hallways and stairwells, and they connect things that you just don't think of as being very close to each other. And so it's all laid out in a way where there's basically different experiences for every area, depending on how you actually enter or exit. I had talked about this before, but for some reason, there's just something about this map's story that we woke up in this cell with no idea why we're here or what this place is or what happened, that for some reason just made this feel so much more hostile to me. Like we were abandoned, like we were persecuted for something we don't even understand. And in the end, we're left to just wander this desolate place in absolute fear for our life and for what the world around us has become. And in the end, all those outdoor areas, besides being a nice change of pace and a breath of fresh air, they sort of only serve to taunt me with the idea of freedom. But anyway, that was GM Stormwald, and I don't know if I'm missing anything, but it was certainly a creepy ride. Especially with that Easter egg down below, with that ghostly hallway. Because that just sort of confirmed what I was already thinking, that this place just feels like there's a malicious presence to it. A malicious presence which we came to find out caused the vacation of the entire building. And we were the only ones that no one decided to wake up and tell. So, why should we wake up? In this situation, what else can you do but say, I'm tired, and go back to bed? I mean, nothing came to kill us while we were sleeping before, right? And if something gets us in our sleep, well, at least we'll be out of here. But until next time, if you like this video, please remember to like, comment, and subscribe for more creepy and comfy content. How lucky is it for immersion that my yoga mat happened to be right here? If you have any ideas for other maps you think I should do, the best place to suggest that will be at the Discord, which I will link in the description. If you want to try this map out for yourself, that link will also be in the description. If you want to support me on Patreon, that link will be in the description. And as always, I will see you in the next one. Now, let me try and get some sleep if my arms will stop behaving so weirdly. This is surprisingly comfy. If I pretend that this is comfy. Imagine something just like walks by the door right now.